Hi everyone, I'm Joanne Fink for Sakura, and I want to show you today some really fun and easy ways to make frames. All you need is a Micron pen. I'm going to give you step-by-step instructions, so let's get started. I usually use an 01 micron when I'm drawing, but this is a chart that shows all the different sizes of microns, as well as I have the graphic pen at the bottom. This is the package of graphic pens, and you get 2 broad-edged or chisel-edged nibs and 1 monoline tip that gives you lines that are really thick and black and rich. Okay, let's start by drawing just a few rectangular boxes. They do not need to be straight. In fact, the whole beauty of doing a doodle frame is that it's not straight. It's kind of free form and organic. The next thing I'm going to do is draw a frame outside the frame, or here I'm going to draw a frame inside the frame, but I'm going to make this one easy because I'm going to do this with overlapping lines in the corners. One of the things that we can do with the lines is to fill them with pattern. And the easiest pattern that I know is what I call a scribble pattern or a loop. Another thing that you can do is simply to do this kind of scribble without enclosing it. Here, because I have 4 little corners, I always think that this is a great place to put little icons. You can do whatever icon you want. You can do a star or a sun or a moon, but I love hearts, so I'm going to stick hearts inside mine. I think that the doodle frames always look nice when you enclose them. I'm going to show you just a simple undulating curve that I do right in the middle, and then I'm going to come back and add a parallel running line. So one of the patterns that we learned were the 4 lines in a circle. 1, 2, 3, 4 lines and a circle. And then I'm going to come back and put my little circles inside. We'll do the fan pattern going down the side. I'll do the triangle pattern at the bottom. And one of the nice things about doing things on a curve that you can really accent the shape by adding lines that work along with the curve. We'll take a look at what the loop looks like when it's tiny and inside here. Now you have 3 different examples of the loop pattern. This one starts with your double lines, and then I added scroll work on the outside. We're basically looking to come out of the lines and just do something fun. Sometimes I'll do a little bit of embellishing outside of the frame, and of course I always think you can never go wrong by adding a heart to something. And sometimes it's nice to do a little bit of embellishing inside the frame. I think it would look a lot better if we added some weight. Something that is easy to do to give some dimension is to add diagonal lines in the corners. And something that I do a lot as a little trim border is just a line and a dot, a line and a dot, or an open circle. I feel like it would benefit from just a little bit more scroll work. The doodle frames look great in other colors. So I'm just going to do a quick example for you in purple. So I'll take my blue and my red and I'll just alternate. Sometimes I actually just leave a hole, knowing where my red will go. The jelly rolls just look great when you do them on the dark paper. And whatever little touches you do, whichever of the patterns that you pick, even if it's just simple straight lines, adds a nice flavor to your piece. This is a really easy frame to do that looks great and can be done in under 5 minutes. We're going to start with this simple straight line. You branch off and then come backwards to make a leaf. Branch off and come backwards to make a leaf. I like to put a circle, and then this is a really simple way of doing a flower. It just mimics your leaf shape, and I do that on both sides. And then I make a point in the inside. Sometimes I'll put a line with a little circle down. The only tricky part to this whole thing is lining up your next flower. And here's our second flower. Rather than finishing the frame in black, I'm going to introduce you to all the wonderful colors of microns that Sakura makes. And you can also go and add a little bit of weight or even extra spaces that you can go pattern, and wherever we can add a little bit of extra space, I'm apt to just put pattern in it. Now let's take a look at what I call pattern blocks. And so to do this kind of frame, I started by drawing really rough, loose blocks, and instead of using my 01 micron, which gives me a very thin line, I'm using an 05 micron, which gives me a bolder line. So here I have an empty block, and I just divvy up this space in some interesting way to my eye. Adding weight to the lines is really important. I'm going to just do a very simple line on one side. And I want something that will contrast with the straight lines, and what goes better as a contrast than circles. And you can fill the entire space up with big and little circles. And this is a pattern that probably takes a little bit longer to do than one of your straight line or triangle patterns. And so something that I can do is come back and add texture into this block, and notice that I'm keeping my lines so that they follow the path of this road. You can use words as a frame, and I've written some of my favorite words, dream, inspire, believe, etc. But you could write somebody's name. Words are a great way to personalize. Frames don't need to be square. They can be circular. These were all colored in watercolor, but you'll notice that there is a pattern inside a pattern inside a pattern I hope you've enjoyed seeing how to put frames on some of your pieces. It's great for art journaling. It's great for scrapbooking. You can doodle frames around any of your special photographs and have fun coloring them. Till next time, thanks for watching.